Hello, everyone. Thanks for watching today. Today's video is for Friday, August 25th, and today's topic is top of your game. Where are you in your skill set? I'm talking about just your skill set in prospecting, your skill set in negotiations, your skill set in winning listings and winning buyers, a skill set of getting people from start to finish in their transaction, the skill set of after closing follow up, and your skill set building your database and asking for referrals. And I'm just throwing off things on top of my head, all those major things of skills that you need to get better at to be at the top of your game. Now, I want to specify today is top of your skill sets and actually being in the game. In the example, compared to sports. Let's just say this. I will go with baseball. Now, the amount of games, I think it's 180 games they have to play. So there are players that they're at the top of their game with their hitting, their running, their pitching, whatever skill sets they need as baseball players. But if they don't play in the game, they don't get the success. You could be top of your game, but if you don't get up to the plate, right? If you don't get to bat, you don't ask to be on the roster, to get up to the plate and hit. Doesn't matter if you're top of your game and your skill set are perfect, unless you're in the game of, well, back to real estate, you're not going to succeed. So just being in the top of your game or top of your skill set doesn't mean equal sales, doesn't equal business. Does that matter? If you have to have, it's like be having a great hitter, someone that could hit the ball, not home runs, but hit the ball and be extremely slow. You're going to get thrown out every time. You could be the best hitter. You never strike out, but you hit the ball. You hit the ball perfect position anywhere on the field, not home run. You hit a home run, you could walk around the bases. But I'm just want to give you an idea. If you have the skill set of hitting that ball, but if you don't have the running skills and the athleticism to get to the play or get to the base, at least first base, you're not going to succeed. You can be the best hitter in the world, but if you can't run, if you can't get there before someone else is faster, get to the ball and throw you out, you're never going to get base hits. You're just going to get just hitting, but you got to get to the base. Football, you could be the best running back in speed, agility, but if you can't hold on to that ball and you fumble the ball every time you get the ball, it doesn't matter how fast you are, it doesn't matter how powerful you are, it doesn't matter what kind of agility you have, but you keep on fumbling the ball, you're not going to get further. You're not going to get the yards and the rushing yards and get and have touchdowns and score points and win the game, or at least help your team win the game. So the point I'm getting at today is you have, when you're at the top of your game, because I have agents, or I've had agents in and out of the business for 25 years since I've been a broker, that are excellent salespeople. People love them. They have such a following of friends and family and business acquaintances, and people trust them. They have all the qualities and all the communication, but they just don't get up to the plate in real estate, and they don't they're not in the top of their game of closing the deal, getting the buyer, getting the seller, asking for the referrals, right? And you could have those great skills, but if you can't get up to the plate and show the houses and negotiate the deals and help the buyers from start to the finish and get referrals afterwards and do a good job and communicate with the other agents, if you don't, I'm sorry, I'm going to get off on a tangent. This is one thing, big pet peeve I have of our industry right now, of something that's growing. The thing of it is, sorry, I'm going to get off in this tangent. Sorry, I'm going to do it. Is that I like being virtual. I do. I love these Zooms. I can talk to Zoom. The amount of people I talk to, text, Zoom with in a week is so much more. I've touched so many more transactions and helped out more because of technology. But the one thing we miss a little bit in real estate is not getting together often enough. But again, it's hard. We can't go back to this. But the point I'm getting at, the one thing that my pet peeve is agents are not working on their skill set, being the top of their game, and being a great agent and a team player, even with your competition, with the other agent on the other side. They think they're thinking like attorneys, that this is my client fighting against your client, and we don't have to get along as agents. I've seen more and more of that. I don't know if it's a cultural thing, things happen in our country or whatever. I'm seeing more and more agents just not caring and communicating with each other on the transaction. So the point I'm getting at is that you could be at the top of your game with your clients all the time. Great. Your clients love you. You're doing a good job. And now you're doing terrible with the top of your game and communicating and building relationships with other agents. Where this hurts you is now you have a client that wants to buy a house from another agent that you have a bad relationship with because whatever happened at the last transaction, now you just hurt yourself. You've hurt your business. You've hurt your buyer because of something that happened before. You can point the finger all you want, but I'm just trying to give you an example of things that agents don't think about sometimes as part of the game of real estate, and you have to have skills. It's just like back to the sports. I think less, sorry about, I'm going way off on a tangent here. Years ago, back when, sports first started, when I was a kid, 40 years ago, more of the players, when they played on a team, usually stayed on that team almost their whole career. So they built this competition, and sometimes it was very tense between two teams. The Lakers and the Celtics, the Browns and the Steelers, whatever big rivalry you have, they hated each other sometimes, but I always felt that they hated each other enough to know that they're going to be competition their whole lives. And they're going to be competitors, so they don't have to like each other. But today, I think more and more players in different sports, maybe I'm just throwing out NBA, a lot of players get traded all the time. Look at LeBron. Sometimes they're competition with each other, but they still stay friendly because they know someday someone might get traded to someone that gets traded to someone, and then you're on the same team as someone that you hated and you didn't have a good relationship with once. And now how is your relationship and is a team going to work? If that is, I know that's got to happen to play the owners and teams out there. They're like, oh, we love this player, but this other player on our team, they can't stand each other and they're not going to do well. All right. So where I was going with that tangent is just a little training on that one thing. You could be at the top of your game, but that other agent on the other transaction is your kind of teammate. not your teammate, like you work, you're on the same office or on the same team. You are working together on the transaction. If you have a bad relationship from a previous transaction, or you just didn't care about communicating with them, or just put them down, or whatever the situation is, now you have a bad, it'll hurt your overall performance because you and the other agents got to work together. So sorry I got off on a tangent there, but what I'm trying to say is I have agents and that are excellent agents. I've seen excellent agents that are top of their game with everything, but the lack of communication with the other agent is horrible. They stink at it, and they don't realize that that one part is hurting their business, and it's hurting their success, and hurting their way to get to the goals. Now, not get off on another tangent. A lot of time those people blame everybody else and don't even look at it. But I've been doing my best as a broker of 30 years, veteran of real estate, to tell agents, especially new agents, your relationship with that other agent is very important to your long-term success in real estate. Now, everybody going to love you? No. Are you going to have every transaction going to be perfect? No. But be cognitive of it, top of mind. I've got to make this work. So we get the end goal, not just get the sale, that we have the best possible relationship agent to agent. So we want to work together in the future and help each other out. We might have another transaction together, many transactions together, and it's nice to have that relationship there. Again, sorry I went off on that tangent, but back to the overall topic is being at the top of your game. So I'll leave you with this to recap before I got off on that tangent, was you have to have all those skill sets, the prospecting, the negotiations, the building your database, the asking for a referral. You got to have all of these things and then get in the game. You got to make the prospecting calls. You got to make the commitment to build your database, ask for referrals, get to the buyers, make that buyer happy, find them a house, negotiate. You have to be at top of your game all of the time. And when you think you're at the top of your game with your sales, now I'm going to leave you with this thought. No successful agent ever, long-term successful agent, consciously or unconsciously, ever says, I'm at the top of my game. I don't have to practice anymore. I don't have to make those calls anymore. I don't have to do anything, because guess what? Every day we wake up unemployed as agents. We have to go find new business all the time. We got to continue to prospect. We need to continue to call, continue to hone our skills, continue to be at the top of our game, of our skill set, to get the sales. You can't, any agent that just says, okay, I'm on easy street, I've made the money I want to this year, or I did all the prospecting over the last few years and I got the business, now I'm going to stop prospecting enough, or stop practicing, stop having as many appointments, all of that stuff, and your business will go down, no matter what it is in life. Not even a choice. I have agents right now, and I'm sorry that I will say this to agents. I don't mean any disrespect from it, but I have so many agents that have been, in the past, have been so successful, and they just didn't realize just one little thing. It's kind of like skipping a practice. Like, like if you want to be healthy, you're like, I'm going to go to the gym a little less. I'm healthy. I hit my goals in my health and weight and exercise. Now I'm going to cut it off a little bit. Have you ever if you've been through that, I've been through that, and you let a little go. I'm not watching as much. I'm not doing as much. I've already hit my goals. Next thing you know, you're way back down where you were before and have to get back up there. Happens with agents. I have agents that have made $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a year in real estate. Then all of a sudden they're down to very little today, because their life, not just things that they've chosen. They've had kids or grandkids or health issues, anything that kept them from doing the things that they got to the top of their game on, and they let it go. Whatever, it could have been something that they couldn't control. No disrespect to that, but something happened. They didn't stay at the top of the game. They didn't continue to practice. They didn't continue to network. They didn't continue to prospect. They just maybe thought they could slow down a little bit or cut a little bit back. I don't need to do this as much because I made the money. I've had the sales, and it will go downhill. It does. I've seen it happen, and it happens all the time. I have agents right now this happened to. I have agents going back up. I have agents going up now, and when they go up, I try to tell them this stories that I'm telling you. So that's it. I know I got off on some tangents like I always do, but remember, reach out to me, call, text, email me anytime. Happy to go over this more in detail one-on-one. So have a great day. Bye-bye.